Hi everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm recording this on Saturday. I think it's January 20th. I don't know what day this video is going to come out, but today is a good day for me to record, minus the fact that I don't have my usual tripod because my daughter took it for the weekend. But since there's nobody home, it's a good time to record because I prefer to record when nobody's here. Now, you probably hear walking around and you're like, no, she's not alone. Yes, you're right. I'm not actually alone. My dog Sophie's here with me and she's hanging out with me. And she's extra interested today because I am sitting on the floor, which sitting on the floor means that I am sitting on the floor to hang out with her. So I've had to sit here for a little while and kind of get her to calm down and walk away before I could start this video today. So today's video, I wanted to talk about, sorry, I have an itchy foot. WIPs, unfinished objects, sleeping WIPs, whatever it is that you like to call them. I'm going to call them WIPs because I did go through almost everything that I have no intention of finishing, and I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I for sure plan to finish. There is one that's still on the maybe pile that we'll see when I get to it whether or not I decide to talk about that one. So first of all, I wanted to talk about, I'm going to start with my oldest WIPs first because I did get out my handy dandy notebook. This is my handy dandy notebook. It's just a notebook I got at my local, I believe this one's from Dollar Tree. It might be Dollarama. I'm not sure. It's just a little pink notebook. And in here, I've just been writing down my old WIPs. Another video I did, I talked about recording my WIPs in a electronic format. When I work on these, I will record them in there, but for now, provided that I decide to stick with something, but for now I'm just writing them down in my little notebook, and then when I work on them, whatever, I'll do something different probably. So in my notebook I had 4 projects that were carried forward from the beginning of 2023. The beginning of 2023 I went through all my WIPs and I wrote them all down. And I put them all in my notebook, and the ones that I have not finished or didn't work on, well, didn't finish, I have brought them forward into this notebook. And we'll start out with the oldest one. So I had 4 pre-2023 WIPs. And one was the Strawberries Throw, and I actually finished it not last week, the week before, I think. It's about a week and a half ago, I think I finished it. So, and the second one that I still had laying around is, it's called Max the African Flower Bulldog. And sorry, my notebook's here in the floor in front of me. That's why I keep looking down. So I believe that Max is in this bag. This bag says Knitter's Got a Knit. And one of my friends that's not a yarny friend, she loves crafting though, and she bought it for me from Michael's. So Max the African Flower Bulldog is a paid pattern. This is what it looks like. This is what Max looks like on the pattern. This pattern is by Heidi Bears. Heidi Bears has a whole bunch of these patterns that are made out of hexagons. You know, I thought the pattern was going to be really cute and really fun, but I'll tell you, I had never made a granny square project when I decided to do this. Like, I had made like a granny blanket, but I had never made a whole bunch of granny squares and sewed them together. So it was probably an eye-opening, not probably, it was an eye-opening experience when I started working on this. I made a few of the hexagons. Some of them are hexagons, some of them are pentagons, whatever. because some of them have, like, they have different numbers of sides. And I did start doing a bunch of these, and then, excuse me, I put it aside. So I've actually made a bunch and put it aside probably, I don't know, excuse me, sorry, I keep hiccuping, 2 or 3 times. But I have a bunch of these little multi-side things. That one has 4 sides. This one had 5. This one had 5. This one has 5. I think that one has 6. Another square. And I made a bunch of these little ones, and then I had some that I sewed together, and this is like a back leg. And this is another back leg. So I made 2 back legs, and I don't remember what I was making all these little ones towards, but I made a bunch of these. And there's more in this bag. But anyway, so those of you who have no problems with colors, you're gonna laugh at me. So I have problems with the colors. The colors stress me out as much as making these little multi-side things that I have to sew 400 ends into. I'm like, okay, I'm worried that I'm going to have too many that are the same color combinations, that I'm making the color combinations too similar, or that the colors don't match, or whatever. And that part causes me stress. So it's really, I find it being a stressful project, and that's the reason why I don't work on it. I did not work on it at all during 2023. I did not pick it up even once. I recorded it at the beginning of the year, and I did not look at it again all year, other than to move it around, because I remember it moved from one place on my WIP cart into this bag. So other than that, I didn't work on it. But the yarn that I'm using for it is this Sheepies Soft Fun. I bought 2 of these. I bought them for something different, and then I didn't end up using it for that. I bought it to make a baby blanket for somebody, but the person I was making it for, I knew that they were just going to wash it and dry it. And because these are, they're 60%, this says Katon. I don't know, what is, I thought it was cotton. Yeah, they're 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. And they're supposed to be, it says wash 30 degrees Celsius and not to dry it. And that's the reason why I didn't actually use this for the baby blanket. I ended up buying anti-pilling DK yarn to use for the blanket that I was making at that point. And then I found this pattern, and I was like, okay, well, these would be perfect for making this African flower bulldog pattern. But yeah, so because I bought this pattern, I do want to finish it. I'm not going to frog these, but I don't know when I'm going to work on it. And I should really figure out when I started it, because I don't think I started it even in 2022. I would say I started it in 2020 or 2021 would be my guess. And the color that I use to attach, I have bought a bunch of these larger skeins that are the color lace, and that's what I'm attaching them together with. So that is Max the African Flower Bulldog, and I promise I will not talk about all these patterns as much as I talked about that one. So the next one, sorry, I'm having trouble getting the page to turn. So the next one I want to talk about is the Amma Cal. This is by, I'm just going to call her Tina. I will link her, I'll link the Ravelry pattern below, but if you know who Tina is, I call her the Mosaic Lady. She has all these different fabulous mosaic patterns. She has fabulous tutorials. If you want to try to make something mosaic, you can do it. I made a mosaic, a very, very large Havana blanket when I was a very beginner crocheter. It's all basic stitches, single crochets, double crochets. Her tutorials are amazing. Not all of her patterns are beginner patterns, but she has lots of beginner patterns. And if you don't want to try mosaic because you're afraid, go for one of the simple ones. It's addictive. It's fabulous. I love it. So the Amma Cal, I should look when the Amma Cal started. I will, if I do look, I will put it in the text here below, because I started these when the Amma Cal started. It was a Cal. It was a make-along. I knew when I started there was no way that I would keep up, but I know that I started, I think probably about 2 or 3 weeks into the Cal, because I don't know if I bought new yarn or why, but I know that I was like a couple weeks into it when I started mine. So I'm going to try to look up the start date when I approximately started this, because I want to know for myself as well as then I can tell you guys. But I do keep the Amma Cal on my WIP cart, which very few of my active WIPs are actually kept on this cart, but I do keep that one on here. For some reason I have a bunch of these cottons in with it. These are my Amma Cal yarn. These are Premier anti-pilling. And just, you know what, I'm going to grab a picture off the Ravelry of Tina's sample, and I'm going to put it in here so you know what an Amma Cal blanket looks like. It's they are squares. You work up however many squares and sew them all together, put a border on it. It's a really pretty blanket. And I am using the colors that she suggested, but not the yarn that she suggested. The yarn that she suggests is very expensive, pure wool yarn. It looks beautiful, but it does look scratchy. And it's expensive. It's way above my budget, and I don't have any desire to make a 100% wool blanket. I would rather something that is made out of acrylic and is washable, and I'm using Premier anti-pilling because I think it's good quality yarn, and I think it's not going to pill, and I want my blanket to last after I finally get around to finishing it. So I'm using this Premier anti-pilling yarn for it. I'm not going to get them all out of here, but that's what I'm using. And I'm using the colors that she suggests in the patterns that she suggests, and I've made a bunch of squares, and I can probably tell you how many squares I need to make for the size that I chose. Apparently I can't tell you that very easily. I have it all printed out here on the shelf, and I should have, there it is. So this is the one that I decided to base mine on. There are, I've forgotten, 6 different squares. The basics of the squares are the same, but the centers in them are slightly different. And I'm using the same colors as she is. I renamed mine because mine are different than hers. They're the same colors, but different names because I'm using a different brand. That makes more sense. So, yeah, hers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 by 4, so that's 20 squares. So I have made all these squares so far. And I will show them to you very, very quickly. You'll see the centers are different. Because she gave you the colors to use, I didn't have to figure that out. I really like that one. That's all of them. how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares. So I'm halfway there. Well, I'd have to sew it together and do a border. I'm not halfway there. I'm halfway through the squares. So I do want to work on this. The only reason why I haven't gotten it done is because I always say to myself, well, I shouldn't work on this during the winter because the squares are nice and small, so it'd be a perfect summer project. And then when summer comes, I get busy and I want to work on mindless stuff because I'm busy, so I just don't work on it. So that's the reason why it's still sitting here. I do actually really enjoy working on these. I just have excuses why I don't. I guess that's it. So that is another unfinished object I need to get done. The next one is, you can believe I started a pair of socks. I started these on October 5th, 2022, because I wrote down the date. And I still don't have them done. I actually worked on them last year. Like, I finished one of the socks and started the second one last year, and I still don't have it done. And they're in this bag. I love this bag. This is the bag that I take with me when I go places. And in here I have a little Halloween bag. This bag I got off Etsy. She's not a crochet person. You wouldn't know, unless you're familiar with her story, you wouldn't know her. It's called I Am So or something. I don't know. If you're interested, let me know and I can give you a link to it. But my socks, I will take out the sock that's the completed one. This is what the socks look like. That's the first one. The second one. How far am I into the second one? I'm like 3/4 of the way done these socks. I just need to get them done. I need to work on the socks. That's all I'm going to talk about these socks. They're made out of Mary Maxim bamboo stripes. Yeah, need to get the socks done. I have all kinds of notes for making the second one the same as the first one, so just get it done. So those are my pre-2023 projects. And now I'm going to go on to my projects that I started during 2023 that I don't have finished. And these ones, I haven't written them down yet. I guess I will, when I clean up my mess that I've made from making this video, I will write them down then. So the first one is, this is called the Jasmine Sweater. I started this either late spring or early summer. I don't think if I show you this page I'm showing anything I shouldn't. This is what it looks like in the pattern. I don't know how well you can see that. It's called the Jasmine Sweater. I will try to link it in the description box below. I think it's going to take me longer to put the links in the description box than it actually did to take this very long video. So the yarn that I'm using for this is this Soho Cotton Chic. And I was chugging along on this project. I was on it. I was working on it. I was going to get it done. And then my house blew up and I had a flood. And my project did come to the rental with me. The problem was that one, didn't have the brain capacity to work on it, and two, the yarn for this project, some of it was in the basement where the majority of the water for the flood was, and I lost some of the yarn that it got wet. Some of it I did manage to save. So I did save 2 of these. So I believe I have enough to finish the sweater. That's not an issue. The issue is that these 2, when we moved to the rental and some of our stuff went into storage, some of it went to the rental. Excuse me. These ended up in storage. So I couldn't work on the project even if I wanted to. There was no way I had the mental capacity at the time to work on it. So, but I have the back panel done. I have the 2 front panels done. And they are just held together right now with stitch markers because I probably was trying it on. And is this sleeve done? No. The yarn is still attached. So I have halfway through, I would say probably halfway through 1 sleeve. So not a lot to work on for this, and before the weather knits nice, I need to get this out and get it finished because I was really gung-ho on this. I wanted to get it done, and I was really enjoying working on it. So yeah, I need to get back on that one. But that's the Jasmine Sweater. Okay, my foot's falling asleep. I need to move a little bit. Okay. Next one is this one, and I know what's in here. This is, I can't remember his name. What's his name? He's Ariel's friend in The Little Mermaid. What's his name? Flounder. So this is Flounder. I showed you guys Flounder. I'm going to say I was working on him Thanksgiving weekend, and I probably showed you guys Flounder right after Thanksgiving weekend. And after I was done recording that video that day, I put him in this little bag, and he's been in here ever since. So silly. He's almost done. I just need to make his fin for his back and his little side fins, and it's done. But I don't have Flounder done. So this is Flounder. I need to work on Flounder. He's a free pattern on, I believe, yes, he was free. On a blog. Can't remember what the blog's called. I will try to link it in the description box below. Ariel's also on there if you're interested in making an Ariel. I just wanted to, well, I didn't want a little Flounder. My daughter wanted a little Flounder. Next. This project, I'm not going to show you guys this one in this bag because it needs to be frogged, so we're not even going to go there. This bag is empty, so I don't need to talk about that. Everything else on this WIP cart is stuff. I don't, literally, my WIP cart is a stuff cart, junk cart, whatever you want to call it. I stored my crochet hooks on here, my eyes, my knitting needles, extra stuff in this basket. There's like, what's in here? I don't even remember what's in here. It's just miscellaneous stuff. There's some buttons in there and I don't know what. And then on this shelf, we have a hat that I made, but I want a different color pom-pom for it. So it's here so that nobody wears it. And the yarn for this. And just more yarn. No projects, just yarn. But I did bring up these extra projects from the basement. So this one is a cotton cake hexagon cardie that I started. To be honest, I don't like the way that it's working up. I'm going to frog it. I'm going to do something different with it. I do want to make a cardie with it, but I don't think it's going to be this pattern. I just don't like the way that it looks. I haven't decided that if I don't like the hexagon, or if I don't like the hexagon made out of this yarn, or if I don't like the size hook. I don't know what the problem is. I just don't like it. So I need to frog it. And this is Karen Cotton Cakes. This is what it looks like. Very pretty colors. The color name is Beach Glass. I have a bunch of these. There's a video about those from when I bought them. We're not going to go there right now. So that is the cotton cardie. And the one other one that I have here that I haven't decided what I'm going to do with is, I believe these are slippers. Yes, they're slippers. I don't think I'm going to frog it. I think I am going to finish it. But yeah, this isn't, if I remember right, this is too small. But the yarn that I was using for this is this Hometown by Lion Brand. Very pretty. A little too pretty for a sock, but it is what it is. The color in this is Salem Creek. But yeah. So that's all my sleeping WIPs, unfinished objects, whatever you want to call them. My other WIPs that I have actually been working on, I'm not going to talk about those today. I talked about them in my last video. I don't have any of them done, but I have been working on them. One of them for sure is going to take a while. The second one is probably going to take a while just because it's boring. The third one, I hope to finish it at some point this week. So there's that. Now I have a very large mess to clean up around me. I am now, all around me is just projects to be put away. Maybe I'll tidy up my cart a bit while I'm here and doing stuff. So yeah. So that is all my projects. If you're interested in hearing about them, I need to write them all down in my little book. It's not, I know a lot of people have more projects than I do. To be honest, it's a lot less than I thought. I thought I probably had like 5 more than this. I was kind of surprised when I went through all my stuff and I found out this is all that there really was. Like, it's not that bad. It's not, it is overwhelming, but it's not like completely overwhelming. But I'm just never going to finish this stuff. Some of them, yeah, they're going to be here for a long time, but others, there's no reason why I can't just do them and get them done because they are stuff I really want to work on. So I guess that's it for today. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. But anyway, so I guess that's it for today though. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for liking my videos. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you have any feedback or you want to hear anything further about these projects, let me know. And I will see you soon on Lori Hooks. Bye everyone.